Alright, let's... Oh, is this how we meet Viola? Please, please, I need medicine. My brother's dying. He's the only family I have left. Clinging to the underground broker's leg, Viola begs desperately. Oh my god. But the broker merely glances at her with disdain, then coldly shakes her frail arms off. With those pretty dresses, you must have been born in a green zone or somewhere even richer, right, young lady? No wonder you don't understand the rules around here. Why you gotta be rude though? Also, I recognize you. Go ahead and play that sympathy card all you want. It's not like it's worth a damn. But meds, oh precious meds, those cost money. Don't tell me you don't have a clue of what money does, young lady. But we don't have any money left. I can do anything you want. Please let me work for you. Unfortunately, at your age, it costs more to keep you alive than what you can offer in return. Unless you happen to be some kind of tech prodigy. I interned at an institute of technology, though I haven't achieved anything yet. I've published papers, but I can cook. Mom taught me that. I can also... Sounds like you've got some background. Usually no one would want to have ties to a kid with a past like yours. However, the broker extends a finger to lift the pendant hanging around the girl's neck. She flinches first, but ultimately does not resist the act. That's an NSU standard encryption key. How did you get your hands on it? Ah, it's what Mom and Dad left us, the last thing they gave us. It's my mom's keepsake. Anything but that. I'm not here to mug your little girl, but if you want medicine, you've got to hand me something valuable. The URNC's The URNC's the top dog now. Nobody wants NSU tech anymore, aside from those who pay to collect antiques like this. Okay. The girl shivers as she closes her eyes. She reaches for the pendant. In that moment, she feels as if her fate has been sealed. Abandoned, betrayed, struggling until she's helplessly squashed like a bug. She seems to have accepted such an ending. That is, until one hand grabs the broker's wrist, while another stops Viola from removing the pendant. Liushih, wait. Just give her the medicine. I'll pay. I don't do business with dolls. You think I'm that desperate? Reputation comes first in the yellow zones. Tell your master to come personally if they want a deal. Besides, with the recent price fluctuations, only regulars get... Will this amount be enough? Whoa, damn. Sorry, I didn't mean to say... Wait, sorry, I meant to say I love doing business with dolls. You lot don't pull any of that two-faced bullshit. This guy, you're in luck today, young lady. The broker reluctantly lets go of the girl's pendant and grabs the collapsed pieces right in front of him. I wonder how much collapsed pieces actually cost. The girl hugs the medicine box, blankly staring at the two dolls bickering in front of her. This again, Liushih? Or Zishu? What was the name I gave her? I forgot. Zishu? But I can't stand watching a little girl suffer. That's not the point. Pay for the girl all you want, but at least ask for change. Forget it. God knows how you got this rich anyway. Well, it's because a friend left their fortune to me. But enough about that. Let's check on the girl. The gentle doll walks up to the girl and softly strokes her hair, while the outspoken doll stuffs lots of food into her hands. Before even realizing it, the girl had already dropped to the ground, started devouring the food without a care for delicacy. She doesn't even register exactly what she's stuffing into her mouth, only that it tastes incredibly delicious. That kind of sucks. Sorry, I was drinking something. The dolls watch her as she goes, smiling a pure, altruistic, and untainted smile. She looked at the dolls through tearful eyes, her heart filled with words of gratitude. But in the next instant, a thought that shouldn't exist interrupts all that. Sorry. Viola, you must remember, the dolls, they took everything from us. Ooh, shit. Don't be deceived by their appearance. They have no hearts. All their beauty and marvel exists only to deceive and manipulate humans. Dolls are tools, nothing more, and they too treat humans as just another piece of equipment. They can never understand true human emotions. The voice hits Viola like a bucket of ice water, promptly emptying her mind while leaving a sharp, lingering sting. Ah, name. What's wrong? You've got a sick brother, right? Now you can go back home with medicine. My name is Viola, thank you, both of you. Nice to meet you, Viola. I'm Liushih. And I'm Zitsu. Ah, well, I already forgot the name. Zushi. Need us to escort you back? What gun does she use? A Type 56-1, I think. The girl shakes her head and turns to face away from them. Hearing the two dolls' names, a strange feeling rises in her heart. Those are such pleasant, beautiful names. How could machines manufactured just to be tools be so radiant and warm? She silently berates her own ungrateful, wicked self. Tears she didn't even shed while begging at the broker now roll down her cheeks as she runs away. Well, that's sad. Weeper realizes she has hit her limit. As a Saintvis doll, her OGAS protocol should have easily allowed her to process the code within the control module. But the astronomical volume of data and lack of proper support modules have made the decompiling process extremely difficult. Fortunately, Betuza, the data processing expert, is around to help her shoulder a large portion of the computational load, which is also why she is now plugged into an external battery, as running two overclocked neuroclouds simultaneously is a particularly power-intensive process. While Deshanaya and Fei Lin are celebrating with their Griffin comrades, Sweeper is working tirelessly, coming close to fatally overheating on several occasions. However, she feels nothing but immense joy. Simply decoding and acquiring data related to Sandra's Fury from the control module is enough to satisfy her. It's obvious, ain't it? Sandra's science is the best in the world. Got it. This one's ready to be booted up now, Fetuza. Got it. Let me get the firewall in place to filter redundant data. Don't get too carried away. No worries, this thing simply borrowed Sandra's tech. Its neurocloud should be very bare bones. Alone. Huh? Unable to detect mastermind. No command update since 89,212 hours. This unit abandoned. Question? This thing, even on finish, is somewhat sentient. Hey, accept my command. Command. Authentication failed. No clearance. Available access 1. Production list 2. Oh wait, that's just like the list. Production inventory 3. Supply orders. Only the basic clearance. Is it because this one's not actually a Saintvis module? Or because you're too low ranking, Nitsi? Shut up. Someone's coming. As footsteps tick, Sweeper sees Pavel enter the room along with several combat animations and armed personnel. Quick on the uptake, huh? Though I'm afraid your efforts will be going down the drain. This module requires higher military clearance to access. You sure your key just so happens to have that? You've done well, Miss Sweeper. The frame's yours now. Pavel snaps his fingers, and two men deposit the box containing the Saintvis Elite frame in front of Sweeper. Now, why don't you go play with your doll friends? I hate his stupid, like, smug look. Sweeper suddenly shoots up into the ceiling at a speed human eyes can barely follow. Dashing forward with her blade drawn, she cleaves through the combat automation standing in her way before landing in front of Pavel. Pavel's automations promptly react and open fire at once. As Sweeper is poised to make short work of them, a notification appears before her eyes. Her gaze freezes before backing off, gradually being forced into a corner. You slimy bastard. Making this a fair arrangement was never part of your playbook, was it? Or maybe you're the one unwilling to honor your side of the bargain. Unfortunately, I'm quite acquainted with you Sanger's Fury dolls. All that hard work just drained your battery. You've got what, 11% left at most? Oh, I was wondering why your batteries were so shit. You were purposely messing with my power supply. I told you, I'm quite acquainted with you Sanger's Fury dolls. Because of all these years, I've been studying, reevaluating, and thinking about one thing. Why couldn't you defeat Griffin back then? Ooh, that's none of your damn business. Was she there during that? Just a random thought. Sweeper bats into a corridor, only to find the exit has already been sealed off. She paces about in the building, waiting for an opening to fatally strike Pavel, but the young merchant, surrounded by guards, gives her no opportunity to do so. Instead, he merely explains to her in an almost nostalgic tone. All the doors are locked down. You won't be getting out of here even if I die. Time to surrender, Miss Sweeper. Don't worry, I share the same view as your master, that Tomato Emperor. Order, security, development are in higher and higher demand by the people of the Yellow Zones, and only those with power can provide that. I wish to join your Tomato Emperor's cause and invest in his own currency forged through steel and fire. His exceptional battlefield talent. What you just did was to help me attain said currency. I won't damage your frame nor your nerve cloud. I just need to make sure you stay out of the way when I do my job. What job? A total real job, just like those horses you bragged about that don't even exist in the records. At Sweeper's words, Pavel's face twitches. They're not made up. Pegasus is a weapon system developed by Dr. Salman. It had undergone 3 combat trials with excellent results. Whether paired with humans or dolls, it wouldn't be up to outdated even by today's standards. Aside from proving his worth in a truly glorious war, Dr. Salman accomplished everything that was asked of him. I don't know how well those horses perform, but a couple of wonder weapons won't affect the outcome of a war. No, they can't, but they can affect me. If only the Pegasus can be proven to be a reliable weapon, then all of its development will be genuine and meaningful, and the URNC will finally take another look at... Another look at what? Unfortunately, that's all I can reveal for now, unless you would kindly surrender and make this easier for the both of us. Before Pavel even finishes, Sweeper's blade is already darting toward him, impaling the wrist of an automation shielding him as it nearly pierces his eye. A chill runs down Pavel's spine as he sweats profusely. Meanwhile, Sweeper snatches an Aegis shield and dashes out of the room. I don't know the names of the robots. Sweeper breaks through multiple combat animations before her battery is drained. She collapses against the final sealed door, helplessly watching as Pavel approaches. Don't forget to put in a good word for me in front of the Tomato Emperor when you wake up. Her frame shuts down completely, and Sweeper's consciousness sinks into darkness. At the final moment, she thinks indignantly. I don't even know that word. Can't believe you called it. Damn it. No, you were right, Nixie. Aside from the commander and those human juveniles, plenty of humans aren't kind. External communication is jammed too. Looks like Mr. Pavel really thought this through. This will take some time. Pavel looks at the Sanger's doll lying on the ground, then at the pile of combat automations she dismantled all by herself. Letting out a sigh, had she been at full power, she could have easily broken out. Yeah, and killed you, bro. Not destroying her, while not letting her destroy him, is the only way to leave the room for future cooperation with the Tomato Emperor. Though Pavel doesn't know his exact identity, he wisely deduced that he's most likely the very terrorist behind the Liva incident. The commander, with a bounty in the millions to his name. Damn, millions? Unless absolutely necessary, Pavel doesn't want to make an enemy of someone with such threatening potential. Lock her up. Make sure to treat Miss Howe here well before you send her back for negotiations with her master. I know that means prisoner of war. I just wanted to abbreviate it. Having said that, Pavel retrieves an encryption key from under his collar and inserts it into the control module Sweeper unlocked earlier. Sweeper could have easily decimated this module during the chaos earlier, but either out of her sympathy as a fellow Sandra's creation or some other reason, she did not. For that alone, Pavel is grateful to her. Command verified. Administrative clearance confirmed. External hardware recognized. As if his blood is rekindled by the pleasant tune, Pavel realizes his fingers are trembling. The moment of truth has arrived. He silently inputs a command string as the module hums to a mechanical rhythm, typical of old hardware protesting its lack of calibration and maintenance. Ultimately, a sea of formless data materializes in the shape of the Pegasus quadrupedal carrier, along with all commands and functions pertaining to its neural cloud. I wonder if that's the little thing. You were right, old man. As if he hadn't been rehearsing his whole life, another set of commands long in the making has been executed by Pavel. The module now displays in progress. Following that, he pulls out his communicator. Hello? No! Is that her sister? Already? Alright, I got it. Don't worry. Of course everything's ready. This day has finally come. Big brother. Oh my god, bro. No! Climbing out of her bed, Viola quietly puts on her coat, grabs the backpack prepared in advance, and heads towards the area where Pegasus are stationed. The horses stand silently. She walks up to Dilu, rises to her toes, and inserts a key into the back of her head after some considerable effort. Yes, because she can't reach, probably. The horse turns in confusion towards her everyday friend and mechanic. Red and blue glares flicker in her eyes before finally settling into a conspicuous deep crimson. Dilu's final struggle pains Viola. Dilu shakes her head violently as if stricken by an ailment until her head finally droops, letting the spasms fade into an eerie stillness. I'm sorry, but I can't let you fall into the doll's hands. Oh, so she still hates us, I guess? Or not us, but you know. Viola spreads her arms and hugs Dilu's head, as if to soothe her. Sorry, my fucking voice cracked. Oh my god. As if to soothe her. Alright, it's done. Now I just need to get on it. She reaches for the saddle and starts climbing. Liushih isn't a particularly tall doll, so this shouldn't be a hard task. Yet somehow, when Liushih and Zishu, rode on the Pegasus, they always appeared so reliable, so towering. Viola instinctively checks the direction of the barracks, only for a pair of heterochromic irises to greet her. Fear instantly makes her legs go numb. Viola? It's me. I thought someone snuck in. Sorry? Why are you apologizing? I got worried about Dilu's condition, so I came to check in on her. The commotion must have woken you up. No, not really. I stayed up to keep watch, since enemies can show up at any time. Speaking of, something happened to Dilu? As Phelan walks past her toward Dilu, Viola realizes that this is her only chance. If she so much as attempts to escape while riding on Dilu, the dolls will definitely catch up to her, or simply shoot her dead on the spot. Oh, wait, what? The sudden realization that something's up halts Phelan. She turns around and pounces Viola aside, narrowly dodging Dilu's devastating back kick. Oh my gosh. Having missed her strike, the steel steed bolts forward, sprinting toward the gate, leaping across rooftops and finally vaulting over the wall. Yet, even with Dilu's lightning fast speed, Balin is somehow faster. She manages to hold onto the reins and follows her over the wall like a jockey trying to tame a Mustang. A loud thud echoes from outside the gate. Uh-oh. Horrified, Viola lies on the floor. By now, the others have woken up and rush out of their barracks. Viola, are you okay? The doll immediately rushes to her and pulls her into an embrace. Viola stares into those eyes filled with worry and concern. She bites into her lip until the taste of blood and rust finds her. Dilu suddenly went berserk and ran off, and Bits's Phelan follow after her. What? What's going on? Hath the War Master's old legion attacked us? Liushih, don't leave Viola out there. Come hide her. Wake up, everyone. We've got an emergency. Atop the Night Mountain Road, sounds of steel hooves tear through the tranquility. A petite doll with beast's ears clings to the steed, desperately trying to rein in one-ton beast. Whoa, Dilu, what's gotten into you? Slow down, slow down. Aw, don't be sad. Could it be some kind of EW attack? Valen grabs the reins tightly, trying to slow down the beast in vain, as simply keeping herself from falling off is already taking up most of her strength. Yeah, as Dilu's heads straight towards the cliff, Valen instinctively lets go of the horse and jumps backwards, watching Dilu plunge into the abyss. Oh my gosh. Only for a pair of flaming wings to shoot out the steel steed's sides. Wait, she has wings? Much like her mythical counterpart. Her free fall is slowed into a gentle glide as she descends into the valley below, disappearing from sight. I was gonna say jetpack, a jump pack. That's a feature too. Liushih's really got some crazy over-the-top head. If Basti finds out about this, there's no way she'll settle for anything less than a Cerberus she can bring back to the Elmo. Then again, what the hell is going on? Yeah, that's kind of wild. I didn't even think it would have wings. I thought... Well, I don't know what I thought, actually. That's kind of funny, though. I actually need to use the restroom, though. Hold on, I'll be right back. Oh man, I have bread. I like bread. I don't know why. But the only thing I hate about bread is it gets stuck in my teeth sometimes. It's an honor to meet you, Miss Liushih. Name's Pavel Salman, one of the many merchants who greatly benefit from your efforts to protect Cliffwatch Town. The reason for my visit today is none other than to acquire your quadrupedal carriers for my PMC's business needs. I'm sorry, Mr. Pavel. As Cliffwatch's town's co-founder, I would very much like to meet your needs, but Delu and the other steeds as well are already like a family to us winged cavaliers. Family? Huh. A dog talking about family? Don't make me laugh. I fucking hate his smug ass grin. Hey, you done talking? Leave if you don't have anything worthwhile to add. Please tell me you can at least compute just how wasteful your actions are, right? Those are weapons. They're meant for the battlefield. Yet using them as nothing more than delivery bites and rescue dogs. This is more than simply squandering. Is that squandering? The potential of the new technology. What you're doing is spitting in the face of its creator. Don't you have a heart? Oh my god, dude. The fucking smug look is reminding me of that. Don't you have a human heart? Don't you feel ashamed of that? To some extent, maybe you're right, Mr. Pavel. But even those manual tasks you look down on still need to be done by someone. With Delu's help, we winged cavaliers can respond to crises and carry out various rescue missions flexibly. There are simply no walkers such more efficient or stable than the steeds in the mountainous terrains. So I'm afraid I cannot grant you your request. Then how about this? I can provide the winged cavaliers with helicopters in exchange for temporary releasing just the one prototype unit. There's Okay, that was a dumb question. I stopped myself. I was gonna ask if there's helicopters in this game, but obviously I'm gonna put bread. I have bread right now, so if I sound weird, that's why. We may be dolls, but we wouldn't trade our family for anything either. Miss Liushih, dolls are usually pretty good with numbers. I assume that applies to you as well. Ugh. Sorry, but I might be the one exception who's bad with math. Then, what about this figure? You consider this a good offer? Okay. Remember, she's rich, so... Yeah, you're broke. Ah haha, I can't. You should really take your leave now, Mr. Pavel. You won't get what you want from either of us. This isn't about money. We don't have any monetary issues now, and we won't in the future. They got bread like that. Speaking of bread, I'm eating bread. Did I mention that? I think I already did. Pegasus. What did you say? I said those steeds are called Pegasus. Anyway, I get it. I'll come back with more funds for my next visit. You're really good at doing business, Miss Liushih. Goodbye. Bro, the fucking face he has just reminds me of that. Good at doing business. Me? I feel like I just made Mr. Pavel even angrier. You just can't take no for an answer. Don't take it to heart. Riding on ATVs assembled by the Winged Cavaliers mechanics, Liushih and Liushih catch up to Phelan by sunrise. The latter had already scaled down the cliff, scanning for traces left by Delu. Thoughts, Maiden. I've lost contact with the War Master and the strategist. I don't know if the signal is jammed or something else happened. Maybe that Mr. Pavel was really up to something. Liushih, I've marked all the tracks Delu left along the way. Thank you so much, Phelan. This heading does lead to Mr. Pavel's area of activity. Let's hope it's just a coincidence. Following the Pegasus hoof tracks, the group veers into an inconspicuous fork in the road, or path, whatever. Before long, the dolls discover a small base hidden on the mountain path. Ooh, could this be the Demon King's fortress? It appears there's movement by the entrance. Let me see. Phelan raises her zoom level and focuses on the writhing shapes in the shadows. They've got lots of patrols units in front of the base. Scouts, diner gates, the whole 9 yards. Seems to be all Sandra's Fury machines, similar to what Mr. Pavel had earlier. As Boston would say, he's acting real suspicious right now. No, she would say sus. She wouldn't say suspicious. I wonder why Mr. Pavel is so obsessed with Dilu, if he can get his hands on so many combat automations. And how was he able to remotely control her? Thoughts Maiden, you believe this could be traced back to that server we handed over? Or perhaps something the War Master did? I think so. Everything just adds up. It makes less sense if this all was a coincidence. Liushih, all those combat animations that Mr. Pavel has, while they are numerous, they are also pretty common. Meanwhile, not even Griffin's database has any info on Dilu and her kin. As a one-of-a-kind prototype, she must be extremely valuable. Since he was willing to trade a dozen military-grade doll frames just for that server, he must have been expecting profit. Profit? Mr. Pavel offered me higher and higher quotes back then, but I didn't believe he was doing all that just for profit. Simple. We simply apprehend him, make him surrender the War Master and the strategist, then beat the truth out of him. Right. This War Master and strategist that Shania keeps mentioning, are they also our Griffin comrades? They are a Sandra's Fury doll found by the Commander. They weren't active back during the Griffin days, and they are actually two minds inside the same body, but neither of them is a bad person. A Sandra's Fury doll. Indeed. Dilu's design contains a lot of Sandra's tech, now that I think about it. Why did we even find Dilu here in Cliffwatch Town? Just as Liushih dives into thought, Phelan suddenly raises a hand, signaling the two of them to drop to the ground. Their sensors return several proximity mines that the dolls are far too familiar with. Phelan quickly marched their positions and those of additional turrets and surveillance cameras. Going the long way will consume time, or much time. Fox Maiden, General, beware of the things that go bump in the night. What are you talking about? With Deshanaya's heads up, the two dolls also lock onto the patrolling scouts and diner gates. The security level is really high, it's almost airtight. And judging by his force's development, they've got heavy weapons set up on high ground, and reserve units held in positions. Such a meticulous defense can only mean Mr. Pavel's got some military expertise. The hero's suspicions have been proven. That Demon King and those brigades are truly in leagues. Liushih nods, acknowledging Deshanaya's speculation. Anyway, let's update Zishu and the Winged Cavaliers with the coordinates first. This area seems to be jammed as well. As Liushih operates her terminal, several dark muzzles protrude from the position above, aiming directly at her head. No! Flashes erupt with crimson glare, all directed at the dolls. Oh no! Watch out, General. Okay, now I'm thinking of Fallout 4. Startled, Liushih stares at Deshanaya. The latter calmly shoulders her rifle, thoroughly used to situations like this. Liushih, are you hurt? I'm fine. Watch out and get ready to return fire. God damn it, I'm thinking a bunch of random garbage. Actually, Fallout 4 is not garbage. It's actually kind of good. I'm just being a hater. So this is permanent, right? Like her health is permanently at 30%, I think. So I think I have a thing. Yeah, bullseye. Let's take out these guys first before we
今です。これでいいですか？
I thought, I don't know what I thought actually.
未来は定まった。早く命令しなさい。
Oh my god, bro. Why did you do that?
僕ならやれる。冷静に。期待はするなよ。
I just love it though. Oh no.
はい。
I thought her gun was semi-automatic. Well, I guess they can't, animation-wise, they can't do that. Because every doll that's a sniper has a bolt action, so they can't really do a semi-auto sniper, right? After a round of exchange fire, Liushih's group successfully destroys all automations at the forefront. However, more and more firepower pours out from the positions above. The suppressive barrage forces the dolls to repeatedly fall back, ultimately retreating behind cover. Ooh, is there no end to this? The worst part is that we don't even know what's inside the base. We might be walking straight into a trap if we blindly rush in. Even though the hero fears not, adapting to our foes or our mana is all consumed is of utmost prodigious. I can't get over the way she speaks. General, now is the time to take action. It's alright, we've already achieved what we're here for. I noticed during the engagement earlier that all of their reinforcements came from the rear of the right flank. That area looks to be the most heavily defended. There, General? The Shania quickly marked a spot on the terminal. Yeah, that's probably where their warehouse is. Even though I'd very much like to take Dilu back now, a frontal assault with just the three of us is not ideal. Very smart. Looks like we need to draw something up before we go in. While Liushih, Feilin, and Deshanai are attempting to infiltrate Pavel's base, a group of men is on their way toward the Winged Cavalier's outpost. Their leader is none other than Pavel, followed by his subordinates driving vehicles towing mortars and other heavy weapons. Didn't you expect to be this amazing of a strategist, boss? I just took some notes from the Tomato Empress, impressive records in Mokesh. Who's the Tomato Empress? Is that supposed to be, oh no, I forgot the name. No, don't do this. Lorley. There we go. Hide your true strength, lure the enemy in, then strike them where it hurts the most. It's indeed very effective. By doing so, won't our base be destroyed? We can't trap dolls like Liushih forever. We can, however, distract them for, let's say, 17 to 23 hours. And that's plenty enough time. As for our base, don't you worry. A bigger, better base, even more weapons, and a grand stage will soon be ours. Following you around sure was the best choice I've ever made, boss, as expecting from an heir of the White Zone. A real intellect. I guess, bro. Glaze harder. Okay, but he's like he like he. I even heard you got some big corporals backing. Why mingle with the Yellow Zone peasants like us if that's the case? Don't you think you're speaking out of turn for someone who supposedly knows as much as you do? My bad. But those dolls and the Winged Cavaliers aren't pushovers either. Can we really take over their outposts in such short time? Fortress like that would be a tough nut to crack, even with superior numbers and firepower. However, historically, many so-called impenetrable defenses have been unraveled from within. You should really pick up a book. That is true, I did learn... actually that is very true, I learned that in history. Just do your job and watch as the new chapter and Cliff watches history unfolds. But if you asked me to name a moment that happened, I wouldn't know though. While Liushih, Feilin, and Deshanaya are planning their infiltration, the Winged Cavaliers are also gearing up for the fight. Out of safety concerns, Liushih has shut down all of their steel steeds to prevent what happened to Dilu from repeating. Fortunately, thanks to their rigorous training and various vehicles and weapons crafted by their workshop, the Winged Cavaliers are confident in the battle to come. Can't reach Liushih. Is this Pavel's doing as well? I knew that rascal was up to something lately. Now he's finally got in his way. Boss Zishu, let's storm them directly. Our big guns haven't got a chance to shine. It's the perfect opportunity to put up a big fireworks show. No, Liushih told us not to act impulsively. Our task is to defend the outpost while they're out there scouting. We've only lost Dilu so far. It's not enough to affect our overall effectiveness. Everyone, get ready to... Oh damn. As Zishu is about to issue orders, a message comes from the outlooks. A unit has bypassed their defenses and is now right under their perimeter. An alarm blares, signaling the highest level of readiness. The Winged Cavaliers immediately leap up and rush to their respective defensive positions. Engage. Arm yourselves. A sense of unease rapidly devours Zushui's mind. Liushih and Phelan and the Chevenet, being so far out of reach, now seems like the result of a deliberate trick to lure them out. Compared to her situation, Zishu is actually more worried about Liushih. She fears that she won't be able to help her partner out now that she's held up defending the base. Of course, that's not the only thing bugging her. The Winged Cavaliers never let their guards down against Pavel. Drones, radars, and various other sensors have all been purchased by Liushih. Bro, I keep getting their names mixed up. Purchased by Liushih and meticulously maintained to Griffin standards just to keep an eye on him. By all accounts, they should have seen this invasion coming from a mile away. Commander, what should I do in a situation like this? A bone-chilling sensation crawls up from the depths of Zishu's mind. She doesn't want to think about it, doesn't want to acknowledge it, but as Liushih's second in command and the outpost's sole defender now, she can't dismiss the possibility that someone orchestrated all of this from within. Oh no, I wonder who it was though. Who was it? Who was the imposter? This bread is pretty good. Oh, I want to check something real quick. I'm trying... Well, I was trying to get her to V1. But I only have like 8 days. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get her to V1. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me see. Let me take a gander at this. Isn't there a way to increase how many times you can attack? Do it like a... Oh god, don't tell me it's level 4. Is it level 4? I thought it was... Hold on. What is it called? Not that, it's this, I think, right? I forgot what it's called. Oh, it's Bullseye, I think. Up to one instance of this effect can exist at one time. Or is this... I thought there was a way for it to like do it more than once, no? Maybe not. Maybe I'm not Maybe I shouldn't worry about getting her to V1 then, because I was trying to figure out if she can do a second attack or not. Liushih though. Show mine. Where's mine? It's like a way bottom right here. Oh, this is what I thought it was. That's why I was confused when he didn't attack, or she, I don't know, Pegasus. Number of marksmen stats gains is doubled. Oh, so like the basic attack is probably like the one you're gonna be using the most, I bet. Or this as well, but that's kind of cool. I like that. That's pretty cool, man. Okay. Okay, round one. Man, I should have done hers first because now I got everything spoiled for me. Doing Liushih's event. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 6. Rousing rhythms accompany the steady hoof beats of the steel steeds. In Cliffwatch Town, people know that hope is right around the corner whenever they hear the triumph of the Winged Cavaliers. Whether faced with dividers, elids, or any other threat, the Winged Cavaliers will always come down from the mountainside and trample everything standing in their way like a tide of fire and steel under the fearless doll's lead. Yet at the same time, they are an army of kindness. No matter how humble their standing may be, the Winged Cavaliers will always charge headfirst into enemy lines and protect the weak and innocent. Viola witnessed all that with her own 2 eyes not long after arriving in Cliffwatch Town. She also immediately recognized the 2 dolls leading the charge, the same ones who also came to her aid without hesitation. And undoubtedly, they too remember her. Sorry, I'm eating bread again. Viola reaches out to them, and the 2 dolls immediately take notice of her as well. Bits is Liushih, Bits is Zixuao. I keep calling her different things. Zixui. I think, no. It's ZH. Trying to remember what that sounds like. I don't remember. Zixui? I keep saying Zixui. Liushih, Zixui. Okay, whatever. Isn't this Viola? What are you doing here? How's your brother? Viola shakes her head sorrowfully. Zixui's expression dims as she dismounts and gently pulls her into an embrace. You must have been through a lot. If you have nowhere else to go, stay here with us. But no need to worry about anything. We'll take care of you. We have many amazing comrades. They'll teach you everything you need to survive in the yellow zones. And you can leave whenever you feel ready to do so, to freely pursue what you truly want. The dolls understand better than anyone the harsh nature of the yellow zones, and that it's nigh impossible for a child to survive on her own. So Viola knows they can't and won't abandon her. This is the naivete of dolls. Their world is simple. A person's a person, a life's a life. They act exactly as they're told, no questions asked. But Liushih and Zixui are different from those Viola is familiar with, because they no longer follow anyone's orders. To freely do what I want, so you founded this outpost and took people in, formed the Cavaliers, all just because we wanted to. Because doing so fills us with joy. Aww. And hopefully what we're doing can eventually be the help of the commander. Or be help be of help to the commander, even if all he ever wanted was for us to be happy. Ah, here we go again. Oh my god. Disgusting, repugnant, sickening. You clueless machines talking about happiness. You've never suffered like us. All you're doing is just imitating that commander of yours. Stop. Don't keep being so kind to me. Just show your true colors already. Stop making me look even uglier than I already am. I feel like you're doing it on your own. And pretty well, I might add. Despite their superior numbers, the attacking automations cannot break through the Winged Cavalier's defenses. Liushih moves along the walls, inspiring each member while providing them with fire support. Even the drones high above cannot escape the doll's sharp shooting. None of them gets to release their bombs above the outposts before they're shot down. Even with Boss Liushih absent, Liushih, we still got Boss Liushih. Oh my god, I still need to. I really need to figure out her name because the made-up one that I'm using sounds exactly like Liushih's. She just eats too much. Whoa, what's that supposed to mean? Oh, I heard that. You can't fight on an empty stomach, can you? Let's feast after all of this is over. That was unnecessary. The Cavaliers erupt in cheers and once again start humming their battle. Hum? I think it's just hum. The counterattack has begun. As for Pavel, this outcome just retroactively made him realize how wise a decision it was not to act against the Winged Cavaliers in the past. Even with superior firepower, numbers, and prior knowledge of their deployment and personnel, they still failed to achieve anything due to Liushih's leadership and the defenders' high morale. Boss, this doll's a monster, man. We're running out of time if Liushih gets back. We got a single doll. That's enough to make you piss your pants. I've banned hundreds of these clankers already. Whoa! The C word and the hard R. But I've never seen one like her before. Aren't command modules banned? That's not a command module. That's a power they themselves earned. Fortunately, I've got mine as well. What is bro yapping about? I always find it when they use the word flankers. Who did I take away? Oh, Shania. Time to do some camping. I'm just rush in there and kill everybody right here. Under Liushih's leadership, the Winged Cavaliers successfully repelled the attack on their outposts. All the mortars and heavy weapons meant to tear down their walls are destroyed by their own drones, leaving only smoldering wreckages. Watching the attackers flee with their tails between their legs, the defenders do not pursue. Instead, they shout and cheer, accompanied by people humming the hum of the Winged Cavaliers. Whatever this says. Now you know not to fuck with us. Whoa, language. Stay vigilant. Scan the perimeter for any stragglers and get the wounded to the infirmary. Roger. After wrapping up her commanding duties, Liushih hops off the wall position and exchanges a high five with the Cavalier coming to rotate her out. As a doll, her reaction speed and perception are far above that of humans. As such, the celebratory atmosphere around does not distract her from analyzing the situation. During the skirmish that has just concluded, the feeling that something is off kept gnawing at Zishui's mind, siphoning her processing power away. Now that the bullets have ceased flying, even just for a moment, she immediately realizes what exactly is off. Who's opening the gate? What? Oh shit. Suddenly, the sudden interjection puts everyone back on edge. Worst thing is, as the gate's opening grows wider, a familiar figure, one that the Winged Cavaliers followed with devotion and admiration, charges in. It's Dilu, don't shoot. No, take her out. No, don't shoot the horse. The conflicting orders plunge the Cavaliers into disarray, making many miss what would have been an easy shot. The steel steed rampages through the defensive positions, while a swarm of hostile Sangus automations follow in her steps and flood through the gate. Oh, that's kind of fucked up. Zishu starts regretting not calling Liushih and Phelan and Dasha. Why do I keep saying "and" after every comma? Dashanaya to retreat. She still attempts to maintain control over the situation, ordering the Cavaliers to fall back to the buildings until... Enough. Time to stop this nonsense. She turns towards the voice instinctively. The sight greeting Jishui makes her pupils dilate in shock before narrowing into a furious glare. Who is it? Luca's right. You really are a shit-eating scum. I don't have time to argue with you. Pavel stands before Zishui and held within his arms is none other than the girl named Viola. The girl keeps her head bowed, not daring to look at Zishui in the eyes. Let go of her. Viola, how? You animal. How did he get in? The Cavaliers all raise their weapons, and none dares to act rashly under the fear of hurting the shivering young girl. As instructed by Powell, the mercs and automations followed him in also hold their fire. A tense standoff ensues. Jishui has no choice but to acknowledge Pavel's composure, bordering on madness. Though armed with a pistol, he doesn't point it at Viola. Jishui looks at the latter, hoping that she could create some opportunities for herself. And yet, Viola is still avoidant of her gaze. No matter how much she doesn't want to accept it, that chilling sensation spreading through her body forces Zishui to come to terms with reality. Miss Zishui, eh? Got yourself a sizable facility out there, didn't you? I admire it. Dolls nowadays are making warlords of themselves and live a comfortable life while actual humans are stuck withering in the wasteland. Surviving by digging through trash. Ridiculous, don't you think? Cut the bullcrap. Let go of Viola. Then we'll consider letting you walk away with your head attached to your neck. Relax, I'm not so pathetic as to use her as a hostage. I never meant for it to get this awkward, but I'm in fact here to make a deal. A deal? That's right, a deal. The terms are simple. I'll let you live. You don't even need to drop your weapons. Just leave the outpost as you are, and I will not hunt you down. In your dreams, you're just a thief who only has the balls to show up when Boss Liushih isn't here. Ooh. Sure, but right now this thief has the firepower to back up his words. We can go back to the shooting. I'll maybe lose at most a tenth of my men and 30% of my mechs. But you, on the other hand, will all be wiped out. So let's not do this. Why? Other than Cliffwatch Town's security contract, I don't believe there's any bad blood between you and us. That's true, although it's not that I wanted to make profit from that either. I simply hate how you and that Liushih just love sticking your noses into everything. I get it. It's all out of altruism, but your mimicry of human behavior, that just pisses me off. Bro, really? Is that really what we're fighting for? Because you hate that they're mimicking humans or something? I don't know, that seems stupid to me. The next instant, Pavel's smile vanishes, his gaze turning cold and sinister. I only have two terms, Disband the Winged Cavaliers and hand over all Pegasus units. You're saying we're mimicking humans? That's your reason for attacking us? That was literally what I was saying. I'm gonna be honest, that's kind of a stupid motive. I mean, maybe from my point of view, but I'm sure for some reason he has... Well, because dolls attacked his family or something, so I guess he's upset that they're trying to, like, be more human, quote unquote. Forming the Cavaliers, building the Walkers. You're just carrying out someone else's orders at the end of the day. No matter how convincing you make yourselves look, you can never understand why we humans do such things. It's not true. Me and Liushih, we... What do you even know? Okay, that's probably a curse word. Before the bosses showed up, people of Cliffwatch Town were getting raided by bandits and devoured by elids all the time. It's the bosses who brought us food, clothes, and medicine. It's them who gave us weapons and taught us to stand up for ourselves. We would never betray them. We all give our lives if the bosses told us to. How pathetic. Look at how they turned you into their little puppets with the tiniest bit of kindness. We're not puppets, and neither of our bosses are. And neither are our bosses. They could have stayed in the green zones, enjoying a life of comfort and luxury. Yet they came all the way out here for the sake of their beloved commander. When they saw our hardships, they didn't hesitate to spend their money helping us. How are the bosses any less human than you? Don't you have a human heart? No one ever ordered them to do anything. They've always followed their own hearts. Can you say the same about yourself? Do you dare say you're doing all of this for your own free will? The surrounding Cavaliers all resonate with Vanna's words, but Pavila simply fires a shot into the air to shut them up. You and I are really hung up on these dolls, huh? Guess that's what happens when you're just a yellow zone bumpkin with no clue of what a doll is capable of. Sure, dolls can be more efficient, their assessments more accurate, but so what? As a leader, if there's one thing they need to fully understand, it's betrayal. What? If there's one thing that you need to fully understand, it's betrayal. What are you talking about? What is he yapping about? If they can't foresee it, can't understand why it happened, then they are oh, Viola. Well, no, she understood. Or not Liushih, but Zishui kind of knew. So technically, she's not a failure. Viola, why don't you tell them yourselves? Right. What do you mean? The one who opened the gates was me. Is that so? The one who installed the receiver on Delu and tampered with her control authorities was also me. And I installed receivers on all of the steeds, so Delu can now control all of them at will. Viola snaps her fingers, and the Cavaliers gasped in horror, some nearly collapsing in despair. The steel steeds that should be powered down and stored away now glow red-eyed. They trot onto the open field and gather around Delu, silently threatening their former partners. No, this can't be real. Looks like both humans and dolls have learned a valuable lesson about betrayal today. Again, this is so petty, what he's doing. It's so stupid. Out of all the villains in this game, I think he's like the worst. All it takes is a little fiddling for your so-called free will and trust to turn on you. Dolls reduced to slaves of their own programming. Much like this horse, your loyalty is nothing when faced with a higher authority command. But humans, Zishui, do you really understand a human's betrayal? You and Liushih recruited Viola yourselves. How did you convince yourself she was worthy of your trust? You know, much like you, the human mind is also built upon countless choices. But no matter how many ones and zeros are in that noggin of yours, you'll never truly understand what makes us the way we are. You will never be human, and naturally, you will never be able to lead humans. Honestly, I would say even getting too close is ill-advised for both sides. You piece of shit. A notification from our sensors alerts Zishui to a new development. In the corner of our visual module, a young cavalier is taking aim at Pavel. Just as Pavel warned, the combat animations have been keeping track of their movements all this time. Before he can fully raise his weapon, the automation weapons are already pointed at him. Don't! Despite Jushui's plea, the young cavalier adjusts his aim and pulls the trigger with a determined expression. In response, the automations behind Pavel answer with a hail of gunfire. Despite the T-Doll's split-second reaction allowing her to spring into action before the bullets go flying, Jushui barely manages to put herself between the two parties. Back off. By the time Pavel and Luca stop both sides from escalating further, Jushui is already riddled with bullet wounds. Oh. It's this Jushui. Oh, so now you give a fuck. Alright. It's fine. I'm tougher than I look. Stop moving, Viola. You're now a target as well. Viola freezes, gazing in fear at the cavaliers who have been with her through thick and thin. The contemplate and hatred in their eyes send a shiver down her spine. Well, yeah, dude. Kinda. With how hard you're still trying to defuse the situation, I'll take that as an acknowledgement of my terms. Everyone, abandon the posts. Leave and go find Liushih. No! Boss? No, we can still fight. And we'll win. Of course we will. But that victory will be nothing but a private one? I don't know. No one needs to die for this. Do as I say, take what is important, and abandon posts. And that vehicle Phelan drove here too, gifts for the commander are on board. Make sure to return to them. Or make sure to return it to them. Ignoring the sparks pouring from her injuries, the doll slowly holds up her arms, staring straight at Pavel with a completely expressionless face. Pavel seems slightly shaken under her sharp, scrutinizing gaze. After a pause, he slowly nods. Paying no mind to the cavalier's protests, Jushui orders the unharmed to help carry the wounded and supplies out of the gate. Meanwhile, she herself remains where she stands, unwavering, still facing off with Pavel and Viola. Boss Jushui, you need repairs ASAP. Don't worry about me. You and Vanna take Phelan and Deshanai's truck back to them. Tell them that those are Cliffwatch Town specialty caramel pies. I bet the commander's gonna love them. Boss? Not gonna follow my orders? Are you still winged cavaliers or not? Don't worry, I'm not planning to do anything stupid. I haven't had the chance to see the commander again after all. No, we copy. After making Luca and Vanna leave, Jushui finally moves. Yet she doesn't head for the gate herself. Instead, she slowly and calmly wanders deeper into the camp, despite countless muzzles pointed at her. Viola? Yes. You once said you had a sick brother. That person... Yes, that was big brother Pavel. He was suffering from a serious lung disease back then. I was only able to afford those medicines thanks to you and Bits's Liushih's help. Wait, those meds back then? Yes, they were from Bits's Jushui and Liushih. I just knew Big Brother who hates dolls would definitely overthink things if he got the wind of that fact, so I never told you about this. Is that so? Ah, so you weren't lying back then. Hearing that, Viola jolts as she's been electrocuted, covering her face in shame, unable to meet anyone's eyes. I see. That's great, Viola. I'm happy for you. Eh? Viola looks at Jushui. That smile blooming on Zishui's face is the same as when they first met. Pure, bright, and possibly dazzling. At the same time, more cramps seem to spread from those wounds on her body. Liushih and I always worried about you. Being alone in this world, without a family, is bound to be a painful experience. While everyone wishes a found family like the Winged Cavaliers could help soothe that pain, nothing compares to real blood ties, right? The fact that you still have someone in this world. Shit, dude, my fucking voice. It sounded like I was crying, but I wasn't. The fact that you still have someone in this world makes me feel truly happy for you. Jushui, you're always like this. Can't help with that. I'm a doll after all. Jushui lets out a self-deprecating chuckle and shakes her head. Viola gazes at Pavel with a pleading look, but he simply holds onto his shoulder and orders his subordinates to head to the workshop behind the camp. The large quantity of weapons and valuable machinery stored there are what Pavel came for. Your frame needs repairs, or you'll suffer a critical failure soon. Why didn't you retreat along with the others? Because I still have questions for you, and I have the right not to answer. Oh, not planning to spare us that luxury, Mr. Winner? As long as Liushih is still around, I don't consider this a victory. Plus, it's not like I need something that hollow from you. I'm just here to achieve my original goal, simple as. Your original goal? I need the Pegasus. So Dilu, you really want to die on this hill, huh? Because the Pegasus was our father's creation, but because no records of it could be found in the URNC's archives, our parents were prosecuted. Huh? If that's indeed the case, why would you assume Liushih and I would have refused to help you out? You still would do the same if I told you that my parents worked for Griffin's enemies? The war's over. Damn it. The war's over. Liushih gently shakes her head. She then steps forward, but her once steady steps now falter. We always sought coexistence, even with our former enemies. Not to mention, Griffin is no more. Liushih and I are just two dolls without an owner, searching for our commander. So I refuse to believe that's your real motivation. At least, not entirely. Man, he looks familiar too. I trust what Viola just told me was the truth. Alvo, you've got other goals besides saving your father, don't you? Precisely. My ambition lies further beyond. Turn Cliffwatch Town into a second Mokesh. No, something even greater than that excuse of a town run by nothing but Set Faben's proxies. If it weren't for your meddling, I would have achieved that long ago. You're not even cut out to be a good villain. That's what I was saying. Bro, he sucks as a villain. His motivation sucks as well. Well, the original one, the one that he hates them being humans or something, like that was kind of lame. You're making fun of me, you damn clank. We fought real villains on a... Sorry, I got bread in my mouth, so I'm like stuttering. We fought real villains under the commander. So we can tell real villains from the wannabes. If you really were one, I wouldn't have told everyone to just leave. Damn. That's fucked up. Pavel stares at the doll in shock. With her power draining and body damage, her eyes are losing focus and her speech module is barely holding up. And yet, even in this state, her likeness still sends a primal chill down Pavel's spine, as if he were prey meeting its predator. Bro, even with all this, he's still scared of him. If you really were one, I'd have stopped you, even if that meant putting everyone's lives on the line, and sacrificing both me and Liushih, because I can't and won't let the commander face another enemy like that. So it's a good thing you're not, don't you think? But you're never becoming a hero like the commander either. You'll simply be Viola's big brother, and that's enough, right? Jishui, stop, let me check. Jishui gently sways her body, as if Viola's words were completely over her head. Then, like a broken marionette, she drops to her knees. Even so, she looks up at Viola and Pavel, her lips curled up in a faint, almost mocking manner. Having a family, isn't that enough? With your little sister, you won't become a bad person. Isn't that great? Because no matter how hard you try, this path you're on will only make you puppets of damnation. I'm spitting facts right now. Those wounds seem to have struck a nerve deep within Pavel. With a groan, he furiously draws his gun. But before he can pull the trigger, Jishui collapses entirely. The last spark flickers across her body. The light in her eyes fades, dimming like the setting sun. Girl, I'm gonna cry. Obviously, she comes back, right? She's gonna be in the Nets banner. No Bruce. I hope so. I think I did see her though in one of the what's it call it? Mm, I'm gonna use someone's Void Mistina if they have one. Oh, I don't know why that's funny to me when it does that. Void Mistina. Here we go.
手加減逃げられるとエンジン起動
大丈夫了解
No, it's so funny.
冷静に早
Damn.
く命令しなさいこれでいいですか何か買ってお祝いしましょうか
Okay, I'm gonna go take a break real quick before I get into these. All right, I'll be right back. Ah, sorry, I had to get a water. As Pavel walks into the hall, he contemplates for a second over whether or not to step onto the fancy carpet. For how accustomed he has become to the yellow zones, he almost forgot how the air in the green zones even smells like, and has thus developed a fear bordering on disgust towards all of this lavishness. Okay. Ultimately, he puts his foot forward and walks towards the ridiculously large conference table placed in the middle of the carpet. Tables on a carpet? That's weird. I don't know. Seated at the head of the table is the very man who holds Pavel's fate in his hands. The man danced at the table full of delight, like a ravenous lion, only to be struck with great annoyance. Decision paralysis. I don't know why I said it like that. Decision paralysis. Oh god, not this fucking guy. Oh, here you are. Please tell me you showered. Nice. It is an honor to be received by you in person, sir. I had completed a thorough personal hygiene routine. Yeah, good. Come sit closer then. Right there. By the way, I got some good news and bad news for ya. The bad news is, your mother died in prison last month. Damn. Pavel braces against such earth-shattering revelation and stares at the man who just delivered the news with such nonchalance. There is neither malice or sympathy in Rourke's voice. Nothing but the kind of impatience reserved for trivial, time-wasting manners. The burly and rude man shifts to be a more comfortable position and looks at Pavel. The good news is, your father's still kicking. Guess it all comes down to how tough you are. Is that so? As R&D officers of the Neo-Soviet Union, your parents had their heyday. Shame that the world today doesn't really treat people like them kindly, isn't it? That's not something someone like me ought to comment on. However, my parents were just following orders. They opposed the peace agreement and the restoration of diplomatic relations, because my father believed it was nothing but a blatant betrayal of the martyrs who sacrificed their lives in the war. A sugar-coated lie. Sure, but that's all in the past now. No need to waste my time on all the theatrics. Or... all that heroic? I don't know. I've got another meeting to attend. I called you over because I heard you've been putting in the good work in the yellow zones. Pulling strings everywhere. Trying to clear your father's name, right? You flatter me. My parents, my father, the allegations against him were completely baseless. Claims like embezzling research funds or supporting terrorism, those allegations only persist because the NSU archives are still classified. And since my father worked at OKB Solomon, right? You know about that? Look, kid, stop bribing URNC officials. It's pointless. You'll never prove your father's innocence of the URNC or the New Order or that Griffin Linus motherfucker, for God's sake. There are simply too many fall guys like your old man, all crying foul play while trying to clear their names. But if you can somehow prove OKB Solomon actually existed, then that his projects were some made-up fantasy, then perhaps Gerard's influence can help him regain his freedom sooner rather than later. I understand. Thank you so much. How can I repay you? Everything. That facility, all the equipment and research data in it, we'll take everything. I'm drinking water, hold on. Also, I know you held a hand in the arms trafficking. Here's a list of who you can, can't, and must sell to. No more guesswork from now on. As some might say, the yellow zones need some rules. Understood. I'll do my best. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Alright. Understood. I'll do my best. Faced with Rorik's outrageous demands, Pava only bows his head. He knows he stands no chance in the moment. No matter how cursed Rorik looks, he could easily crush Pavel and the innocent Viola with a mere twitch of his fingers, but he's dead now, so who cares? Here's some advice. Start looking for your father's research. There's got to be something unless he really was just an inept, corrupt official. Gerard will give you some startup funds, plus surplus equipment seized by URNC. That said, it would be a mistake to treat this as an investment. Think of it more as the time your father has left. Should you fail to bring back what I want in due course, I'm afraid you'll end up with an orphan. I won't disappoint you, sir. Alright, you can go now. That's kind of crazy. Oh wait, what did that say? Sorry. Let me quickly go over the plan. I'll draw the enemy's attention from the front. Use this chance to circle around and infiltrate the warehouse. All these dangerous units must have central control server acting as the root of their management system. Destroy that, and they'll be done for. We'll also need to seek out Warmaster and Strategist's whereabouts. The Warmaster is no doubt in grave shape, but the Strategist undoubtedly has a plan. So long as the sliver of hope remains, the heroes shall never give up on their compatriots. Lastly, whatever's inside that server we brought, blowing it up now will surely save us a lot of trouble. Although I'd still appreciate an opportunity to speak with Mr. Pavel, rescuing Delu and your comrades comes first. Let's move. But Delu's not there. Liushih knocks out several Goliaths moving along their programmed patrol path, triggering a chain reaction. Taking advantage of when the automation's visions are obscured by the dust kit aloof, the Shania and Phelan slip into the base while Liushih plans how to further draw the enemy's attention. Shania, Phelan, everything's proceeding as planned? We're in, General. Yes, we're heading toward the warehouse. Now it's up to you to keep their attention off of us, Liushih. Got it. Liushih takes a deep breath and pops out of a corner. Hey everyone, look over here. Following rapid trigger pulls, several light automations go down instantly. The alerted sentries all direct their guns towards Liushih and immediately start shelling her position. At the same time, the Shania and Phelan proceed rapidly toward the warehouse's coordinates. In order to remain concealed, they move through a narrow corridor formed by containers. I keep saying the Shania, it's the Chevenet. I think I just heard something. Phelan stops abruptly. Chevenet, watch out from above. Ooh-wah. Almost as soon as Phelan shouts out, the Chevenet raises her rifle and fires. The bullet punches through the core of an automation hidden on top of the container before it has time to alert others. Phew, that was close. True to the king of your senses, Fox Maiden, thou saw the malice mirrored in Shadow's nigh. Ooh, my frame doesn't have that kind of feature. But Phelan flits her ears, perplexed. It is kind of strange. Even with Liushih drawing their attention, there are far too few sentries near the warehouse. Hehe. Who's to say the Demon King's minions shan't find themselves wanting of ammunition? Look, the treasured treasury of the Demon King stands before us. Coming into view is a warehouse looming in the shadows. The two pick up their pace and reach its entrance under the cover of smoke. The electronic lock on the door is flashing red. It's locked? Lock's Maiden, step back. The Chevenet raises her gun and fires at the lock's control panel. As the lock is wrecked, the heavy door creaks ajar, followed by the dolls kicking it wide open. Don't move. Hand over our stuff, as well as the War Master and the War Mount. Eh? Phelan sweeps across the warehouse, but the scene of the Pegasus towing the server and a panicking Pavel she envisioned is but a fleeting illusion. Instead, sunlight pours in through ceiling vents, illuminating drifting dust. Only silence greets them. The Chevrolet freezes awkwardly in place with her gun held in a weird position. It's empty? Oh no. Despite their lightning-fast reaction, the heavy blast door slams shut behind them, sealing their way out. The Chevrolet immediately aims at the vent, blasting open an exit with a few shots. At the same time, explosions go off beneath her feet. The Chevrolet grabs Fei Lin and throws her at the vent, just in time before the floor collapses. Thoughts Maiden, leave the rest to thee. Wait. Before she can finish, Fei Lin sees the Chevrolet fall into a swarm of combat animations empty-handed. Still, the Chevrolet cracks the head unit of one trying to backstab her wide open with her elbow, while sending another one trying to tackle her flying with a kick. Even with her covering fire, Fei Lin cannot stop the Chevrolet from being overwhelmed and dragged away. She then escapes through the blown open vent onto the roof. Taking advantage of the distraction, she drops the few automations giving chase to Liushih and waves at her. It was a trap, they got the Chevrolet. I'm coming. Liushih slings her rifle and leans into a sprint. Using a disabled Singvis doll as a springboard, she hops onto the roof and grabs Fei Lin's hand. Together, they land back in the warehouse and make short work of a few stragglers. We're low on ammo. Let's rescue the Chevrolet and pull out. Yeah, we can't lose her as well. I'll take point and you cover me. After a fierce resistance, the Chevrolet's frame starts to shower sparks from the damage and her joints are overheating. Her skill and spets have kept her going thus far, but the overwhelming odds are bound to prevail eventually. The short-haired doll bites her teeth, looking for the opportunity for her last Hail Mary. Just as her arm is about to be torn off, an Angus Deadeye, developed using Sandra's Fury technology, suddenly fires. The scorching energy beam instantly vaporizing several of its allies' cores. On the opposite side, two claymores turned their blades on their allies, impaling the bulwark that was tearing the Chevrolet apart, freeing the latter. The unexpected development feels strangely familiar, and the Chevrolet excitedly utters that fondly given name. Strategist? The Sangvis dolls do not respond, only gesture for her to follow. You wish for me to follow thee? Lead the way, O strategist. Can't get over the way she speaks. Sorry. Under the automation's lead, they fight through several blast doors, ultimately reaching a large open space where Sweeper is being held, her joints having been disabled, and she is chained down like a caged beast. War Master, no! The Chevrolet moans and bawls as she drops to her knees, slamming her fists into the ground. But the automations following her simply walk up and pull out their power cords and plug them into Sweeper's body. Moments later, the Elite Sangvis Fury dolls light up once more, and she immediately throws the Chevrolet a sharp look despite her frail state. I'm not dead yet. Get me out of here. Whoa, could this very well be the Great Spell Resurrection? It's called Recharging. These units don't have much juice left. I need to get myself back to... A hail of bullets rains down on their position. The friendly automations jump in to shield the two and are instantly shredded to pieces. The Chevrolet reacts right away, despite not even recognizing the source of inspiration for her next actions. Perhaps such instinctual impulse once came to her in a dream, or rather, somewhere deeper than her level 2. She picks up Sweeper's frames by the legs, using the blade protruding from her forehead to impale an enemy's automation core. What? Oh, she's gonna say what in tarnation. With her limbs locked in place, Sweeper turns her head around and sees her body being swung around like a sword by the Chevrolet. One after another, enemies are cleaved in half through their combined effort. Don't worry, War Master. We'll fight as one. Who wants to fight as one with you? It's actually using her as a sword? It's kind of crazy. Is this an escort mission? Take this. Super move, Sandra's series, War Master Hurricane Slash. Nice. Hey, quit spinning around the Chevrolet. You think I'm a boomerang or something? There's an opening at 2 o'clock. Should we try to stage a breakout there? As you wish, more War Master. I'll lead you out of this nest of devils. It's funny. Who do we have? Oh, Shania. Oh, we have the escort, right? Oh, we can destroy all of them. Where's Shania? No, wait, who's missing from here? Oh, the Chevrolet. Where's the Chevrolet though? Okay, her usual little sniper nest up here. Yeah, just take out the...
早く命令しなさい。良いのか？勝利の呼び声だ。はい。ここは引きません。
I wanted her to kill everybody somehow, but
怒らせたね。
I love that.
はいはい。クロちゃんを怒らせたね。僕ならやれる。冷静に。
Despite their Griffin days being ages ago, Liushih and Phelan advanced with flawless coordination. Covering one another, they pressed forward with maximum efficiency, searching for the Chevenet's whereabouts. Their effort is soon rewarded as the Chevenet can be seen breaking through the automations while swinging Sweeper around, now heading toward their direction. General, Fox Maiden, I found the War Master. Don't swing me around like that. Is she swinging someone? It's a long story, but she's our comrade. Now, do we retreat or do we keep searching for Dilu and the control modules? Right, Nitsi, where's the server we bought? Sorry. Feytuza's working on it, but without Pavel's key, taking over a few units is our absolute limit. There's nothing we can do then. Let's retreat. I have a bad feeling about this, as this were all part of Pavel's scheme to lure us in. War Master, is the strategist still inside you? Don't worry about that idiot, but can you put me down first? That is kind of funny. After a hard-fought breakthrough, 3 dolls and a sword finally escaped, making their way back to their ATVs. Ah, we made it. Ah, this many skirmishes in one day may prove too much, even for the hero. I can barely fathom the battles the General and the Khan normally endure. Could it be because this is the Demon King's lair? We've clashed with Pavel before, but I had no idea how he had this many Sanguis machines. I wonder if he received outside help or worse. As they converse, Sweeper regains control of her full body with Liushih's help and slowly sits up. The Chevenet, I shall never forget that humiliation I just suffered. War Master, can we still talk this through? Quit messing around. What did you do for Pavel, Nitsi? I reactivated the control module for him. That's it. His encryption key mentioned something called a Pegasus, a mechanical walker. It's a decent machine, but nothing to write home about. I think he's after what's inside the prototype storage. Logs, data, coordinates, whatever. Even though we've come this far, I still can't believe that your friend is a Sanguis doll. Last time we fought alongside them was still under the commander. Hey, please don't forget about me. Nice to meet you, Miss Liushih. I'm Feytuza, the commander's favorite, and as well as Nitsi's manager. Stop popping out randomly. You done with your job or what? Give me some time, okay? I need to greet our new friend first. Nice to meet you, Miss Feytuza. Strategist, what have you been up to? Helping you. Remember those automations that I took control of? I also recorded the entirety of that glorious combination bayonet maneuver of yours. Oh no. Ahem. Anyway, we need to regroup fast. I saw in Pavel's plan that his forces are gathering around Miss Liushih's outpost. Only now, Liushih remembers to check her communicator that had been jammed while they were in Pavel's base. A message from Liushih. Winged Cavalier's outpost has been attacked. Blast it. We must return at once. So funny.
記念に写真を撮ってもいいですか？
How many we got left? Yeah, I can maybe do one more, I think. It's just I don't have a lot of storage on my actual drive to record a lot of this, so maybe just one more. In the kitchen, Liushih is full of energy, busy cooking one dish after another. Yet all of a sudden, she feels as she's lost all motivation. She unties her apron and steps outside. Standing by the doorway, she closes her eyes and enjoys the breeze. Winds blowing by seem to whisper memories of the past. FNRC, Spaz 12, arguing over who should rule the cafeteria. Someone jokingly shouts, AK-15 is the true master chef, and everyone bursts into laughter. Liushih smiles too. Liushih? What's wrong? Feeling tired? Not at all. So have you made up your mind? Do we leave and keep looking for the commander, or do we stick around to make sure everyone here at least survive? If it's the latter, we'll need at least 2 years to build this place up. We won't be able to focus on finding the commander then. Is it really okay to leave that decision up to me? It's your money, of course, it's your call. Or were you planning to leave it to me? I want to see the commander. I really do. Whenever I think about what would happen once we left, that these people won't be able to fend off the elids, that whatever little supplies they can salvage will be plundered by bandits. I just can't bring myself to leave. I'm sorry, Liushih, but I must stay, at least until the people of Cliffwatch Town can look after themselves. That's a great call. I'm all for it. Or weren't you just reminiscing about Griffin earlier? It's not as if we will never be able to see everyone again. We're just delaying the day that little longer. Plus, we'll even earn the commander's approval if we help more people out. It's just the right thing to do. Can I really handle this? I'm far from competent. Unlike Miss Springfield or 416, who were such a great aid to the commander. Then start learning today. Install every management plugin and operation module you can find. But we're still just dolls. While people are willing to bear with us now, do you think they'll continue to accept our leadership in the long run? If they don't, we'll just leave and go find the commander like we planned from the beginning. Liushih, you're amazing. It's like nothing phases you. Not at all. I just believe that, as long as people can still sit at the same table and eat together, no conflict is too great to resolve. The dining table is a place of warmth. The more people are seated, the warmer it is, provided there's enough food for everyone to feast on. Let's work hard. Starting right now, Liushih. First, we need a big enough table, then we'll fill it with everyone's favorite dishes. If something sad, upsetting, or unbearable happens, we'll smile and settle it on the table, together as one family. I really miss those meals with the commander around. I'm going to cook up a feast and stuff him full once we find him. That's funny. Even after some time, Pavel has yet to recover from the anxiety induced by the situation, alarmingly staring at the doll on the ground. For his past self, dolls were nothing more than high-performance machines. No matter how human they act, imitations are what they'll be forever known as. But just a moment ago, in those brief moments before she shut down, this doll invoked in him a sense of dread that not even that Roret Gerard managed. A true sense of dread that encompassed his existence. That what that mere doll might be was his better. Now, that T-doll who invoked the emotion, that inferiority he undoubtedly felt, lies motionless, her working fluid pouring out like blood and slowly seeping into the ground. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Pavel shivers uncontrollably. Fear and anger mix into the adrenaline driving. Bro, what was that? Stutter. What was that stutter? That was really bad. Fear and anger mix into the adrenaline driving his muscles forward as he raises his gun and makes a beeline towards Liushih. Enough, big brother. Move aside, Viola. Can't you see? She's already out of order. I won't forgive you if you keep hurting her, even if you're my brother. You've gotten attached to a doll? Have you forgotten? Griffin has always been part of those who dashed Mom and Dad's dreams. These two might have been very well served their henchmen back then, but they also saved your life. Huh. So now you want to be friends with them again. Even dolls aren't that naive, Viola. There are consequences for betrayal, you know. It's something you'll never outrun for the rest of your life. Since I owe the success of this operation to you, I'll let it slide this time. But I hope you can remember what all of our efforts have been for. I know. Go get some rest. We've got a lot on our plates next. I already found the coordinates of OKB Solomon inside Pegasus Mark I's database. It's not far from here. Once we find the facility and get in touch with the conglomerate, Dad will finally be free. We'll finally be free. Hold on, I need a... Sorry, I was drinking water. But brother, that obnoxious old geezer from Gerard, that Rorik, isn't he already dead? Will the conglomerate still need us? Of course not, nor would they want a crumbling facility in the middle of the yellow zones. Unless it's really hiding something extremely valuable, like a secret blueprint or equipment of some sort. However, before he died, all of the data of the OKB had to offer really piqued Mr. Roy's interest. A number of high-ranking URNC officials once held a position there, which means the conglomerate must be looking for a leverage they could use to blackmail them. And if that's not enough, I've got other plans that do not rely on the conglomerate. Brother, did you make deals with someone else as well? Ah, with a spoiled rich kid, yes. But at least he's somewhat reasonable. As long as I can prove myself useful, getting Dad's conviction overturned is a piece of cake with his connections. Of course, nothing comes without a price tag. For that, I need enough influence to be seen as worthwhile in the eyes of the conglomerate. Given how fast the NSU fell apart, the production lines and manufacturing tools in the OKB must still be intact. Once I take control of those, I won't be some random nobody anymore. As long as everything goes according to plan, Cliffwatch will be the first step toward my future empire. And then, I'll stop being a pawn and finally become a player. When that day comes, I'll get to free Dad on our own terms. That's right, I'm a player, not a pawn. I just lack the power now. Only the powerless become puppets. Viola looks at her brother with a heavy heart. It's clear that he's trying to convince himself more than his sister. You get it now. I have planned everything out. Just listen to your big brother and we can go home. And we can go back to our home. Or we can get our home back, sorry. Okay, brother, I'll listen to you. I'll do whatever you say. Sweeper, Dechevenais, Balin, and Liushih managed to commandeer an off-road vehicle, driven by the Chevrolet, and with the encouraging sweeper perched on her shoulders, they head toward the Winged Cavalier's outpost. The terrain quickly proves more challenging to traverse than expected for such a vehicle, especially when compared to the Steel Steed's mobility. Soon, the four ditch the car and continue on foot. The prolonged journey makes Liushih increasingly anxious. She repeatedly attempts to reach Liushih until the moment a content offline alert pops up. Oh shit. Liushih, who is leading the group, stumbles and drops to her knees. Balin and Chevrolet rush to help her up. Jishui's signal is gone. Damn it. Does she have backups? Yes, but we've been so busy lately. Jishui took care of a lot of things in my stead. It's been a while since she was... Why am I having trouble reading that? It's been a while since she last backed up. Okay. If her core got destroyed, she'll lose a lot of her memories. If only I had stayed at the outpost. Stop, Liushih. Huh? Basti taught me this before. The moment you start thinking in what ifs, there'll never be an end to it. So let's leave that until everything's over. Balin. Liushih looks at the doll even smaller than her and nods. Noticing her shivering, Balin gently holds her hand. The Chevrolet instead turns around and gives Liushih a motherly embrace. Even with the mechanical arm's overwhelming force triggering her pain sensors, Liushih accepts this warmth. Thank you, everyone. What a touching moment. Let's join them, Nitsi. Shut up. As if it wasn't your fault that things went up shit creek in the first place. Hey, don't blame me for all this mess, or I'll send that footage of you being used as a corrosion doll blade plus 25 to the commander. Don't you dare. Anyway, our current circumstances, we don't have enough firepower to retake the outposts. The commander said we could call for the Elmo backups when needed. Or Elmo backups as needed. I think it's the right time to do that. Asking a human for help? That's an utter disgrace. Don't you have any pride? Don't you have a human heart? In the current situation, even one or two dolls is all it takes to turn things around. Get us Voymistina and she can handle them all. Yeah, she can... Yeah, of course. It's Voy. Sorry. We can't rely on Voymistina every time. Besides, she's on a mission of her own. Let's call Klukai over. Yeah, she's a good choice too. Oh, and as long as we keep the commander in the dark about this, it doesn't count as asking him for help, does it? That works, I guess. While the dolls argued, Liushih's communicator suddenly beeps again. That's a Winged Cavalier's distress signal. Liushih pulls herself through the pain of losing Jishui and responds to the signal. Damn it, this truck is such a pain to drive. Shut up, keep driving or we'll end up down there. Ah, it's our Hell Raider. Racing at full speed through the mountain road, they see the truck full of doll frames driven by the two Winged Cavaliers, mechanics being chased by a horde of Elids. Luca. Ivana. Yeah, I think it's Ivana. I said Ivana. It's the boss. Thank God we're saved. Liushih doesn't hesitate and charges straight at the enemies. Balin and Chevrolet immediately follow suit. I'm all out. Sweeper, you're up. Huh, perfect timing. I've been itching to do this. Leave them all to me. Alright. Man, her range is so good. I can't get over it. Trying to do like a good
I mean, she's gonna take damage, but it's fine.
怒らせたね。
She's covered. Sure.
今です。これでいいですか？
I mean, she's immune to Hydro now.
ここは引きません。
I guess not.
勝利の呼び声だ。僕ならやれる。冷静に。期待はするなよ。未来は定まった。はいはい。くらえ。これでいいですか？
We're saved at the expected of the boss and her comrades. Wow, Hell Raider, I've missed you. Stop giving the truck dick names, you dork. Now you'd get upset if it gets blown up. Luca, Ivana, are you alright? Where's everyone else? Realizing there are only two of them, Liushih clenches her fist. With anxiety and fear crawling onto her face, she dreads the worst case response she's about to hear. Everyone's fine. Really? We need to regroup quickly then. Where are they now? But they all left. Left? They abandoned you and Zishui? No, of course not. We didn't want to end up like this either, but when Luca and I proposed we should go find you, someone said there is no way we could win without our weapons or steeds. Many others agreed. No one wanted to take any further risk, so they just disbanded. I see. See? That's human nature for ya. When things get tough, they only think of themselves and will always run away and hide. All the more so if it's for the sake of a doll. The one with a blade stuck in your skull. Keep your mouth shut if you ain't got anything nice to say. Every winged cavalier has the utmost respect for our bosses. They were just shaken, afraid. Besides, Ivana and I are still here. As long as we're around, the winged cavaliers stand. Once we regroup with Boss Zishui, everything will work out in the end. Who are you calling a knife head? I don't think she said that, or he said that. Calm down. He didn't say that. That's what I was saying. Zishui. Liushih closes her eyes, reminiscing about the partner who had always stood by her side. She feels as she has regressed to her old Griffin self, unable to do anything without relying on Commander or others. It'll take a lot of time to buy weapons now. Maybe hire a PMC then? Better yet, let's hire all of them. Right, we need to fix Zishui first. We'll use the best frame available this time. Liushih. Boss, are you okay? I'm fine. I can do this. Even without everyone, I can still do this. Because I'm not alone anymore. Not alone. Huh. Of course, General. Huh? Seeing her panic, the Chevalier grabs Liushih's shoulders and forces her to lock eyes. You've still got us. We're all the Commander's dolls. The heroes shan't never abandon their comrades. General, we'll fight as one. Commanders, dolls. Right. The Commander didn't fight for our freedom just for us to wallow in self-pity. Liushih closes her eyes again, takes a deep breath, and exhales. Dolls have no need to breathe. Her mind naturally imitates the method a certain someone uses to find his composure. Let's head back first. We need to confirm Zishui's condition and the outpost's situation. We'll see what we've got, then decide what to do next. It's so funny.
何か買ってお祝いしましょうか。
I may buy her outfit, I don't know. Alright. I think I'm gonna end it here because, I mean, we got 4 left. I don't want to, you know, overstay my welcome since I still got other stuff to do. But tomorrow we'll finish this probably, so we'll see how that goes. All right. I am sorry. I'm out of here. We'll see you some other